So I imagine then that I was going to ask you a question about your short-term and long-term goals, but I
Hmm.
imagine that the short-term
Yeah.
goals are going to be recover as quick as
Yeah.
possible. But
Yeah, for
so
sure.
more maybe your long-term career-focused goals. What are those like? Or maybe like a social media side of thing, or more career-based. What
Mm.
are your long-term goals?
Yeah, it's funny you asked because I just did a podcast episode on like the way that I'm viewing goals this year because it's so hard to view goals from like the sky's the limit like when your
Mhm.
body is just not going to match up to that. So I this was the first year like walking into 2023 being like I don't know if I feel my 100%, but that doesn't mean that I can't set goals still. That means that I'm just going to have to look at them in a different way. So my biggest way I'm looking at everything is pretty much short term. I don't really I think that it's just not in the cards of alignment right now for me to make any like huge long-term goals, but I know
Right.
that if I'm able to make short-term goals like whether that's daily every week and then every month, it just makes more sense to look at things in chunks and align that with how my body's doing. So I guess if you're asking big goals for like the future like let's say 5 years down the road, I'm
Mhm.
still so down. TV shows, movies, that's all my thing. Like I love acting so much. I love being on set. I love creating stuff. Like that's what I want to do. And I know that that's just going to take some time. So you just kind of have to wait it out. But that doesn't mean that I can't do anything in my power right now to
Exactly. Yeah.
continue studying and doing all that stuff. Like that's the stuff that I can do. So there's no reason, to cry over not being able to do it. If anything, I think the universe was also trying to tell me to slow my body down. I was driving myself into a hole before I started TSW, which is all the work that I was putting myself into, all this stuff.
Mhm.
I was neglecting my bodily needs to like work out and eat right and all that stuff because I was just doing so many things. And the universe literally forced me to stop and was like, you're going to be bedridden for 3 months. And then after that, we're going to learn how to work like a better human. Because I was just driving myself crazy. But yeah, so long-term goals definitely to still act, social media, continue to grow my brands, continue to connect people, and yeah, that's basically it. I think we make things so complicated sometimes when like genuinely I just want to connect human beings, and I do that already. So I'm like, I'm doing my goal already, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it just makes me happy to think that like my life doesn't have to come to a stop. Like I can still do the things that I have the power to do, which is a lot, and it's shown me a lot. It's taught me a lot. I truly would not be the person that I am today without the TSW experience. And I think it just made me a stronger human overall. I know how to connect and empathize to people more who are going through things because I mean, not that I had an easy life beforehand, but my problems were like, my YouTube channel for 5 years has stopped, which is that's a
It's a big
big
thing
problem.
still.
It's
Yeah.
really sad. But more so like the physical health aspect of stuff. Never experienced something this detrimental. Like,
Yeah.
I had injuries when I was dancing and all that stuff back in the day, but nothing like this, nothing like this at all. So it's taught me a lot, and I think it's just making me a more well-rounded human that understands people.
Yeah.